Is it done?
Let's get this party started.
Oh, that's why I had that smaller. It's that okay. Captain, it has been about 5 minutes since you defeated the final large Hirogen battleship. You now have up to 12 Hirogen in your brig, and you're noting down a quick update.
We're currently in the process of processing the prisoners we recently acquired in our brig, and then giving them medical attention. And soon after that, we'll begin in a internal investigation of the stations to find the Klingon. End update.
Excellent. Moving to ship's interior, and everything's really loud. There we go. So current status is the ship at red alert, or are you going to stand down to yellow alert at this time? There seems to be no other contacts in the immediate vicinity, but sensors are kind of weird within this cluster.
Then let's stay at yellow.
Okay. Ship status. We are at yellow alert. 13 power, 11 shield. Lieutenant Annette Shothrock is on their way to the brig immediately. And Dr. Bog, you have been notified that we have some prisoners that were exposed to hard vacuum and possibly need medical attention.
Okay. I'll be in sick bay waiting for him.
Okay. As you're in the turbolift, F. Shothrock, Ensign Lef F comms you and says, there was something weird about that at transport. Several of them have monotanium armor, and it seems to scatter our senses a little bit. They're here and they're in one piece, but I can't verify if I got all their weapons off them. Just be advised.
Understood. Be ready if they try anything. I'm on my way down.
Hi, Lieutenant. Would you like to bring anyone else with you? You can have your security team advantage set up there, or if you want to bring an NPC with you. If L has a reason to go down, and if the captain allows him.
I'll leave Zora. How did I say the Gorn's name? Zorgar? Zorgar. I'll leave him on the bridge in case we have friends. I'll just bring my security team, and if another player would like to come.
I mean, we do have two other security NPCs, and one of them is a straight up empath.
Okay, yeah.
Oh yeah, Diaba is a natural empath, and you would have been appraised of her natural talents.
Okay, then yeah, let's bring her down there. Other than that, save the crew support.
All right. And
The guys who are wounded, are they or who were in vacuum? Are they with the people in the armor, or are they separate?
they're kind of all over the place. As he was just doing, Lift was just doing batch beam ups and just putting them in cells. He didn't really have time to analyze if they're injured and where they should go.
Okay.
Come on, I'm trying to. Actually, it'd be gold for security. There we go. Gold shirts.
As the doctor's on his way down, I'll try to separate the wounded from the armor-wearing possible pain in my ass.
Okay. The security team is there. They basically just have the force fields up. They haven't really done on anything, but immediately I need to pull this sheet up so I can roll some dice.
Oh yeah, the doctor probably would have been down.
Yep. There are 2 people that are in critical condition. 2 of the people without the portraits, just the symbol. And the 5 guys with portraits are heavily armed, well, not armed, but heavily armored and intimidating looking.
Which one are the 2 that are critical?
I'm gonna say this one with the red dot, this one with the skull and crossbones. But otherwise, guys, besides being grumpy of being aimed up, they're not saying anything. They're just standing there, arms crossed. And the security team says, yeah, they haven't really done anything yet. They haven't even made any demands. But they're also not even trying to help their wounded fellows.
Can we do like in-brig beaming, like from one brig to another, or how does that work? Does that just be a site to site?
Yeah, that would count as a site to site.
Yeah, doctor, it looks like we have 2 critical. I like to separate them before you enter the containment cells.
I'm sorry. I was on a phone call. What was that?
There are 2 critical. I'd like to separate them before you enter their containment cells.
Okay. Can we beam them directly to sickbay, or?
Yeah, we could do that. You'll just have to set up a site-to-site transport.
Okay, that would be preferred.
For me as well, doctor.
Okay.
Actually, good thing we did bring in this crew support, because that's who I'll send to Midbay.
Okay.
To be there when they're beamed in, in case I'm wrong.
Okay, you're gonna send Diva to the med bay and keep your NPC.
Hmm?
Sweet. All right. It's kind of hard to tell at this distance, but you can tell that 2 of them are definitely wheezing and gasping and seem to be spitting up some sort of fluid that is approximately their blood.
Who would be in charge of site-to-site since medics?
That'd be Leaf or Lef. Why haven't we decided on a pronunciation of his name yet? He's Leaf.
It's the way.
This is the way. All right. If someone could pull up Leaf's sheet, and we'll set up that at site-to-site transport.
I have it up. which is control engineering.
Control engineering. You're not going from pad, you're not going to another pad. So that's difficulty 4, brought down to difficulty 3 because of your amazing sensors. But I'm gonna increase the complication.
Put one of those threats back because I'm going to add a dice with that. So I activate bold.
Excellent.
I still think we should install pads into med bays. That seems like a
I mean, I
useful
thought
thing.
That could
I
be a
like
thing.
that idea. That'll be like the 25th century. By the time it actually happens, bureaucracy.
Well, I
and,
mean,
like,
that would just be something an engineer could do, but
like that, we made it with the 6.
mm-hmm.
And
Oh yeah, he's good at that.
transporter sound effects. And the 2 injured people are brought into a sick bay, and the nurses are already on them. There's a couple other people that have scuffs and bruises and minor injuries. One of them definitely has a broken leg, but the person themselves and everyone around them don't seem that concerned about it. You, sir, have a broken leg. If you want to do, an examination on any of them, or if you want to get in quickly and help some of these minor injuries before you go into surgery, if we can do that, or you can just hop straight into surgery and deal with these people later.
No, I'm going to triage my 2 that are the worst off, and that's going to require me to scan them to see which one I need to go with first.
Okay. Yep. So, reason medicine difficulty 2 to triage them. And I'll separate these guys by red and blue dots. So, reason,
Okay, well,
medicine difficulty 2, and the computers can assist.
yeah, I'm using technical expertise then. So whenever I attempt tasks with ship computers or sensors, I can reroll 1d20.
Excellent.
And here, say trauma surgery is probably a good focus for that.
Absolutely.
And I'll go ahead and give you a threat to activate bold.
Excellent talent for a doctor. I never put that together.
Okay. And here we go. Oh, definitely gonna. I get to re-roll each of those, don't I? Because the technical
yes.
expertise one and the bold gets the other, right? Whew, come on, no whammies. There we go. Not a good way to start the day.
Hey, at least you got those rerolls in.
Yeah, computers medicine for the
ship.
Totally misdiagnosed them. There we go. Get some momentum going.
All right, so that is
Like-
3 momentum on
I
top.
think he needs his spleen out. Hey, this guy doesn't have a spleen. Hold on. Okay, so
yeah.
whichever one is the
Oh yeah. There's part of the complication was you haven't been fully briefed on their anatomy, and that was because you didn't expect to be treating these people. We do have like brief medical reports from Voyager, but you personally haven't come across them and studied them because you didn't expect to be meeting a Delta Quadrant species. However, you are a quick study, so you can ignore such complications.
Yes, and I know how to improvise under pressure.
Exactly. So like,
All right,
okay,
so-
I don't know this anatomy, but this tube seems to be leaking bits. I don't think it's supposed to be doing that. So
Bleeding
much
is the
like that.
same, doesn't matter what color it is.
Exactly.
All right. So I'll take the worst one in first for surgery.
Yep, that would be the blue. It seems that one of his lungs has completely collapsed, and the other one is shredded.
Oh,
So,
well, before we get him into surgery, we'll have to stabilize him with a chest tube to get that lung reinflated.
Absolutely. So that is, yeah,
It's a really simple procedure. Basically, punch a hole in his lung or his chest wall and put a tube in it.
Yeah, let's go control medicine difficulty 2. And you could have a nurse assist if you want.
Oh yeah, we'll have a nurse assist. Might have to hold him down. I'll try to numb the spot a little bit before I just jab him with the tube.
Probably a good point. And at this point, Blue is still conscious, but barely.
He's gonna have an attitude when I get done sticking this tube in his side, so he can breathe though. All right. I'm gonna say biology, xenobiology is gonna help me here for focus.
Yep.
I'm gonna go ahead and spend a momentum for an extra dice. See what we get. Nice.
Nice.
The nurse is kind of getting in my way. I just tell her, just don't worry. I got this.
All right, that is 3 momentum generated. And on top of that, as you have him, it's not incubated, it's intubulated. What's the verb?
It's what you're thinking of is intubation. That's when you put it down their throat. With a collapsed lung, though, what it is that means there's something pressing on the lung to collapse it. So you actually cut a hole in between the intercostal rib and another one there. Can't think of the actual 2 ribs that you go between, but you cut a hole and then you basically jam a tube through the pleural wall and drain off the liquid that is either collapsing the lung, or if it's because of a punctured lung, it allows the negative pressure then to be relieved and the lung will reinflate. So this is just, I punched a hole in the guy's side, and it is quite painful if you don't have a good numbing going on beforehand.
Okay.
So that will actually allow him to breathe better if it was a collapsed lung that was causing the breathing problem.
Yep. But the numbing didn't seem to be all that good, and he reacts quite violently and tries to make a grab at you, Doc.
I'm sure he's going to grab my hand. I won't necessarily stop him from grabbing my hand, but if he's trying to grab me to harm me, there will be repercussions.
This seems to be like a reflexive swing of, oh, you're hurting me, I'm gonna try to hurt you back. So
yeah, I would have expected that. I mean,
okay. Oppose daring security.
Okay. Security.
You do have the security officers there, so that counts as a automatic bonus. So an automatic success is they kind of like, whoa, hold it down.
See if got anything that might help me here. I don't. So I'm gonna go ahead and spend a momentum. Get an extra dice, and I'm gonna say that my emergency medicine is gonna have me. I mean, I know this is gonna hurt the guy, and this is not the first time I've done this, and they swing. So will that allow me to have a focus for that?
Yeah, especially in emergency situations. Sometimes people have reflexes. People are in a panic situation, and part of emergency medicine would be dealing with them in that situation.
A combative patient.
Yeah,
especially one that you just stuck with in the side wall of his chest.
All right, I'm gonna spend a threat for an extra dice. But yeah. He swings at you, and you're able to catch his fist and go, whoa, hold it. And the security team's able to pin him down and restrain him more. And at this point, the nurses can anesthetize him.
Okay,
for surgery.
Good.
Yeah, that initial sting kind of caught him off guard, and he almost caught you off guard.
Well, yeah, it is not pleasant.
All right. So for the surgery, control medicine, pretty hefty surgery, unknown anatomy, but you ignore that. Diff 3, yep. So control medicine difficulty 3, and computers medicine can assist as you're referencing AIM charts and getting more information on their anatomy, and the nurses can assist as well.
Okay, so I'll go ahead and do my technical expertise since the computer's helping me. And gonna go ahead and activate bold again. Spend a threat. And then the is this the computer roll already? Is that the 0 there?
Yep.
What nurse are you using?
I don't know, the prettiest one.
You can just have because you're in your own sick bay, you just kind of have a standing advantage, or you could activate an NPC to help roll.
I think I'll just take the standing advantage. And then he actually gets to re-roll that 0 because the technical expertise, I think, works on both of those, doesn't it?
Yes, it would. So, Elle, feel free to re-roll the computer medicine roll. Excellent. As you are
Excuse me for a second. I apologize.
Yeah. As you're wrist deep in this guy's nice chest cavity, and you're fixing ink damage and taking reference to the Voyager report, and like, okay, so this is supposed to go here, and this molecule will work well with this nervous system. I am completely making this up as I go, but you managed to stick. What was that?
I just had a comment. I said Bog had an incoming hail.
Yep.
I mean, he's lucky he found the actual info and not the Voyager's Doctor's musical number version of it.
Oh, I should use that next time. It's just the EMH Doctor doing a musical performance.
Bye.
I don't know, because it'll be funny. Might be worth a threat.
Like haven't you seen the Voyager Doctor?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, so surgery is successful, and at least Blue's gonna be fine. Meanwhile, let's cut back to the brig. Shthrak, you have a bunch of angry Hirogen staring you down.
Mute all the cells other than this one. Armored. Go ahead.
Presence security difficulty 1.
Do a focus in uniform code of justice or athletics to look imposing? I don't know what I'm doing here quite.
That was just to make sure that the cells are all muted properly.
Oh, okay. Then.
I'm like, why do you need the uniform code of military justice here?
Hey, I'm just throwing focuses out, hoping one of them will stick.
Any other focuses?
Shipboard tactical systems.
Yeah, I guess this is kind of tactical, but
okay, well then that's 3 successes. So the second one's a crit.
Second one's a crit. All right.
Sorry about that. That was the chief of police. I had to take that. So.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. The surgery was successful.
Okay.
And he's now stabilized.
Fantastic. So we've got one more that I got to do.
Yep. But we
can
cut
jump back
to.
Bog.
Thank
Okay,
you.
we can jump back to the bog.
Because
All right.
especially he has to go earlier.
Sounds good. Now with if Red.
I'm sorry. Did I step back in and interrupt? I apologize.
No, you're.
No.
Okay.
We were like in the scene for like 30 seconds, so it was cool. All right, and now for our Red. Again, hard vacuum exposure, or lung damage, mucous membrane, in damage. He appears to be breathing, but there's a lot of fluid in it.
Okay. So we're gonna have to probably drain that off too first, stabilize him before we get in to the actual surgery to fix everything. Is this guy a little more coherent than the other one?
He's more coherent, but there's definitely wheezes and rattles in his lungs that you can hear.
I'm gonna make sure that the anesthetic takes a little better effect before I jab him in the side with this tube, so it shouldn't cause quite the reaction.
Okay. I'll just accept that you're doing that first. No roll.
Okay.
But I am spending a threat for something. But otherwise, he does go under and is restrained and ready for surgery at this point.
Okay. What's my roll on this?
Whoops. No. It's gonna be difficulty 4. There's unforeseen complications with this, and it's control medicine.
Okay, so difficulty 4. I'm going to go ahead and use my Starfleet Surgeon's decoration. Once permission, the character may reduce the difficulty of a single medical task by 1 to a minimum of 1.
Okay.
Is this something that's unfamiliar to me? Treating an unfamiliar species, unfamiliar medical procedure?
No. Oh, the complication was, it appears that while he was in hard vacuum, ice crystals formed in his lungs, and for some reason, for some reason, whatever material it is it is not melting at room temperature.
Oh,
so he has like sharp particulate in his lungs that you have to deal with.
Okay, all right. I'll activate technical expertise.
Okay.
And I'm going to go ahead and this is something that I would say is going to require me to improvise under pressure. Is that true?
Yeah, this seems to be a very unique injury. You're not sure what this material is, but for some reason, when the pressure went off, it turned into a gas, and then once you repressurized him, it solidified back into a metal inside his lungs. So
okay, I'm going to go ahead and use my value improvisation under pressure.
Sounds good. Would you like to purchase additional dice?
Well, that gives me 2 successes. I'm down. I only need 1 more success, correct?
Correct.
We got some momentum there. I'll go ahead and spend a momentum for an extra dice.
Okay. And you get the 1 reroll with technical expertise.
Yep. Okay, here we go. Ooh.
So that's 5, 2, 4, 5, 6, and the ship with computers medicine. right, so 2, 4.
I didn't need the computer's help anyway.
No, you got this. You can improvise this up one side, down the other, which means we have 3 float. As you're able to pull this man back from the brink and remove the particulate and stabilize his condition. They're
Did
both.
we have anybody else that had this depressurization kind of thing?
A couple others of them, but they don't seem as critically injured. Mostly it's just like eyes, nose, throat, that kind of stuff. If they were exposed, they were.
Sorry, go ahead.
If they were exposed for like seconds before they beamed up. It seems like these guys were in hard vacuum for probably a couple minutes.
Okay. I still don't know what the substance is. This is something foreign completely?
Yes, it is something foreign.
Okay, can I spend the 2 momentum out of that float to determine what it is?
Yeah, I'll allow that.
Okay.
It's some sort of like specialized hydraulic fluid. They use this for raising doors and moving heavy stuff within the ship. Apparently, one of the pipes burst while under air pressure, and just because of the properties of it, it sublimated it into a gas, and he was face first when it did it. But once it was under atmospheric pressure, it solidified.
Okay, so nothing that I have to be terribly worried about.
Yeah, it's nothing like toxic or anything. It was just that under the specific atmospheric air conditions of 1 atmosphere or room temperature, it turned into really sharp particulate about bead size.
It just crystallized up in his lungs. That's okay.
Yep.
All right, and then I've got one more. Can I create an advantage with one, or is that's not possible? Is it?
Depends on the advantage. If it's something small, you could do it with 1.
Just that I've kind of, with 2 surgeries under my belt, I've familiarized myself with their anatomy enough to easily assist the other injured patient.
Yeah, definitely. Especially since you've, 2 surgeries, each you kind of familiarize yourself with their anatomy. So
basically, any complications because of an anatomy would be removed for the next patient.
Yep.
Is what yeah.
I will accept that.
Okay.
Again, there's still some other injured in here, but they're not in any critical condition. They can wait a scene or 2. You got the 2 that were definitely a minutes away from death without from dying. You pull them back from.
Good. I hope I'm on their Christmas card list.
For 2 momentum, and you could gain the advantage that you've sort of gained their favor, and they'll be slightly more cooperative.
Security, Captain, do you think that would be worth the spend?
I would always prefer have 2 less people I need to shoot.
That'll work.
Okay, I'll spend the 2 momentum then.
All right, 2 momentum as you have gained some friends through the miracle of saving their butts. Meanwhile, down in the brig, as you are muting the cells, Lieutenant L joins you down in the brig. That sounded healthy.
And to be clear, I was muting them so like they couldn't hear me talking.
Yeah.
Okay. Hello.
Lieutenant junior grade. Yep.
Look,
Hello, Lieutenant.
Well, Lieutenant is still a proper title.
Yeah, Lieutenant's
junior grade.
Yeah, Lieutenant's the proper honorific.
Mm-hmm. Lieutenant. I was just getting ready to deal with our friends here. Do you need something?
Wanted to see if I could help you.
Oh, sure. You armored friend, please take off your armor.
I will
And
not
any
remove
weapons
my.
you have, place them on the ground.
I will not remove my armor. I demand and to be released from this cell and put it on one of the rotating habitats in this system.
Are there armors? Do they have like face shields or no? Because their pictures don't have a breathing mask. They have breathing masks?
They do not particularly have breathing a mask, but they could have one on a belt or something.
Okay. You are in no position to make demands at the moment. You will remain in the brig until our captain has decided what to do with you. Now, do you possess any weapons that were not screened out from the transporter?
Silence.
Put them on the ground.
He does not move.
So he does. He does have the breather on his chest, on his belt.
Insight security difficulty 2.
Actually, can I make that an advantage that they don't have their rebreathers or something?
Sure.
Yeah.
2 momentum. They do not appear to have breathing mask.
Awesome.
And that would be for everyone in the scene. I'm not going to make you spend individually. That would be rude.
Nice. And I think I need to make like a little legal roll here. Am I within my rights to sedate them? As he is obviously being a hostile.
Insight command difficulty.
Prisoner.
Insight command difficulty 2.
Now I'm guessing a focus in the Uniform Code of Justice will work.
Yes.
Question for the GM: are they legally under arrest?
That's kind of what this role is stating.
Okay.
I took a momentum.
Okay. Do you have any rerolls under your belt?
Not for a command, no. Unless the computer can assist me with the computer's command. I don't know.
If the computers assist you, it would be a different role, and it'll be very obvious that you're going to the computer console and looking up something. So you could just like think off the top of your head, I'm not sure, and then you would go and do something else, but it would be very obvious to the Hirogen that you looked up something on the computer.
Hold on.
Oh, go ahead.
Hold on. I am standing right there. But unfortunately, I won't have. I don't think research would apply to me if we're not going to use research, but I can still give one assist. Yeah,
unfortunately, you didn't know what he was thinking of. He wasn't musing out loud.
I'm just gonna have to go with my gut.
Yeah,
I think they could be considered pirates. So yeah, I'll
Yeah, sounds reasonable. They're pirates. They're attacking. They did attack your
legally
ship.
is Federation space.
Yep.
It's legally Federation space. There's just not much here. So yeah, you're it. I will anesthetize the cells, please, so I can properly search them and remove all of their weapons.
Federation Protectorate space.
Spending 2 threat. And to anesthetize Eyes them. You're not pulling the trigger yourself, so this is gonna be present security.
Okay.
Difficulty 1 and
If it's control security, I will do it myself. Also, if I'm not entirely sure it's legal, I wouldn't want to force an ensign to do it.
what are these? Actually, it's structure security. I think that makes more sense. So present security, difficulty 1 plus structure security.
Okay, focus in shipboard tactical systems.
Yep, this is part of the tactical suite.
And take a threat.
Gladly. And the ship roll. Come on, complication.
Does somebody have that, or I can grab it?
I can grab that for you.
Oh,
ship.
really? Really? 6
You're
float.
welcome. Well, not 6 float, but 6 momentum.
6 momentum all at once, so you have one float. You start anesthetizing the rooms, but as soon as the gas starts entering, and the Hirogen, especially the warriors, snap and go violent and start banging on the walls and are trying to get out. It appears that their adrenaline or something of their anatomy is preventing the anesthetizing gas from taking hold.
Wait, do they hit the force field?
Yeah, they're hitting the force field and trying to and they pull out bladed weapons and are trying to smack
I have
at
some
the
float, right?
You do have one float, and they're trying to smack at the emitters, trying to break
Can I
down the
spin
cell.
That to float and say I quickly look at the doctor's report in medbay and switch over to the anesthetic he was using, because that was obviously effective.
Absolutely. With if 2 momentum, you see that they're smacking at the walls.
Not
I'm gonna-
anesthetizine. Switching to trioxylene or whatever it's called. I think there was another one.
I'm going to give them at least one roll, trying to see if they can and break their cells.
Okay.
But they are in a brig on the wrong side of the cell, so this is going to be a difficulty 3.
Okay, or another cool thing we could do, just throwing it out there, we could use the opposed roll for normal, because you know how when you're doing an internal security, you put up the shields?
Yep,
There's an opposed roll for that.
I'll
Or
allow
we could
that.
do diff 3.
If you want to do opposed roll, we could, or you could just, or we could just do
Let's
base
do the diff
difficulty
3.
3. Diff 3.
Let's do diff 3.
All right. This is probably silly, but I'm gonna spend.
If they get out, they're just gonna get shot. So I'm excited.
Diff 3. They managed to get out. I'm gonna say that there are 5 hunters. Yeah, the 5
So
hunters managed to get out.
How does that work with the anesthetizine? Because they've already breathed it in, though, right? So are they just like swaddling? How does that work?
They are just powering through it for some reason.
Okay.
I will say that with the new nesting gas that you swapped in, they are slowly getting infected with it. At the end of their turn, I'll roll one challenge dice for each of them. If they get an effect, they're out like a light.
Okay.
but I also have quick to action.
Okay.
The non-combatant, as in people, the technicians, and just hit the floor. And we need appropriate music for this. As you have yeah, you're gonna have this guy taking a swing at you with a kokori, a bladed weapon.
Oh, melee combat! Yay! Hold on.
Melee
Let me
combat.
get my sheet. Okay, I'm good. I'm good at this.
All right.
I'm gonna give you threat.
Okay. One threat. And do you have a focus?
Oh yeah.
That focus being
Hand to hand, or small arms, or athletics, or
yep.
And because of my Yushan Tour talent, I can roll all of those.
So you're spending a minor action to pull out your Unchantor?
Oh yes, I should have.
Okay. Yep. I'll
spend a
accept
momentum
that.
if I need to for that,
No.
because it's
No,
not
you're
technically my turn.
you're not moving or anything, so.
Okay.
Oof. You win that round. Would you like to fight back?
You don't need that tendon. That's vicious too, so he down.
Yep. Immediately he hits the deck.
Let's make a look. Oh, that was his turn.
That was his turn, and I already spent one turn aren't getting him out, so player's turn. You are both within I'll say you're both within reach each of the you're both within reach each of at least one uncombatant, or the security team can offer help by tackling someone, or offer an advantage.
Okay. What would it be for me to instruct the computer to do something, like a minor action or full action?
It'll be a full action to tell the computer to do something.
Okay. Well. Stab.
Okay. Oppose daring and security.
Take a threat again.
I'll spend it back. Back to match.
Okay. Again, I will reroll both of those zeros. Yushan Tour talent is good.
And you hit. Just barely, as he reaches up to try to catch your blade, but you've been training with the Unchantor since you were a kid, and you easily deflect, spin around, and jab it into him.
You don't need that tendon either. Slice.
That is more than 5 damage. He hits deck.
Let's do a little minor action to run over here and swift task.
Swift task 2?
Yeah.
All right.
Stab.
Would you like to spend a threat?
I would, but my difficulty is not increased because I have fire.
That's only with range attacks.
Oh, you're right.
It
Shoot.
specifically says as ranged, it won't carry over to melee.
Okay, then I'll just stab.
Okay.
It is an increased diff, and they gave pretty good rolls on this, so I'll buy a 4th dice with momentum.
All right. I'm spending 1 for 3. Womp womp. And that is at least 5. Hit the floor, or Jack.
And I just like the security team to be dealing with these two. I don't really need their assistance. You know
Yep.
what I mean?
Yep, they're the advantage of dealing with those two. Yeah,
Turn.
Yep, you have quick to action, and because of the captain, and Yeah, I'll be nice and allow that. Would you like to keep the initiative?
Would you like to go L?
We don't have the momentum for it.
It's
Quick
free.
actions. Yeah, quick actions still in play.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll go.
All right.
Go get him, L.
It would be a minor action to get in range, or you could pull your phaser. Because they're on the other side of the brig.
Hell, let's have fun with it. Let's go with our new security officer style and use the aerial combat. Minor action can move to any zone within long range instead of medium, and ignore any difficulty increased by associated terrain, and have advantage against ground-based targets.
They are ground breach. I will say, I'll say this is kind of a low ceiling. It'll increase your complication, but you do get the decrease. Yeah, you do get the advantage. So it'll be comp 2 for this.
Comp 2, and then use athletics for the focus.
Absolutely. Would you like to buy additional dice?
And it's going to be unarmed attack.
Yep. So oppose daring security.
Literally just. Yes.
I should have used my momentum to move again. I forgot. Didn't I get some from that roll when I've gotten 4 momentum?
With opposed rolls, as they carry over, or does it turn into momentum?
Oh, okay.
On the ship, on the wrong sheet. That's part of the problem. Okay. Daring, security.
Yep.
And focus, comp 2. How many successes do I need?
It's opposed, so you'd be rolling against each other.
You need more than them.
Yeah, I'm gonna spend the 1 momentum.
Okay.
Yeah, let's just spend the 1 momentum.
Nice.
And you hit. Go ahead and roll the unarmed strike. He is still up.
Oh, we didn't get any momentum from that, so you can't reroll. Can you take a threat for us to add 1 damage?
I'll allow that.
Yeah, then let's do that then. That'll work. Well, apply it to piercing instead.
That's a good choice.
Well, one to piercing and 1 to 1 more damage. That's the safe bet. So 2 threat.
Good, because that's exactly what you needed. As he hits the deck. Don't have any momentum in the keep, so it is now their turn. Yep, I'm Hirogen, and whatever, this is gonna end badly. I'm gonna swing at you, and I'm spending 3 momentum to roll 4 dice.
You swinging at me or the security team?
I'm swinging at you, L.
Okay.
Can we use the security team advantage to assist L in this, since they haven't done anything?
Absolutely. So you get 1 free hit. Would you like to spend additional dice? Nice, L.
So this is me on the defending end of an opposed roll this time?
Yep. I've spent threat. I'm now rolling 4 d20s.
I will give you one threat back. And how does the advantage work?
It's basically just +1 hit, just a free success.
Oh, so we didn't really look at that before. So I actually would have had. Then wouldn't we have generated momentum? Because I would have had 5 successes to the 1 on the previous roll. So we should have momentum. Then.
Momentum doesn't generate on opposed rolls, unfortunately. That's a rule I looked up.
Wow. Not even if you're that much over.
But it doesn't generate my end either, so.
Alright, well, I've got athletics. I gave you 1 threat. That would be no comp range this time, right?
Yes.
And what the hell? Let's use the metal. So that double my focus range. So the focus range will be 8.
Okay. One, two, three. 1, 2, 3, 4.
That's 6 successes.
Versus my 3. You can get it a free hit in. As he charges at you and you counter.
Slip to the side and throw him at the wall.
Sounds good.
Another threat for Pierce.
Yeah, one threat to Pierce.
It's not quite enough up to put him down, as he still has a little bit of life in him.
That should be enough with the Pierce. It was on the last one.
Yeah, 2 effects on the last one.
Yeah, the last one was 2 to Pierce and +1 to damage, which made 5. If we applied the 2 to Pierce, this still is going to sustain 6 damage, so this is still 1 better.
Oh, yeah, because it's piercing 2. Yep, okay, so that does put him down. And combat is over. You see, I have a bunch of...
to medbay.
This is medbay.
Doctor, I have a few more patients down here for you.
Oh, okay.
I suggest you treat these in the brig, as they will not be leaving.
Affirmative. I'll be down with a team momentarily.
Excellent.
I'll grab extra kits. One last thing. Speaking to a lieutenant.
Mm-hmm.
Yep,
Lieutenant. What kind of injuries am I going to be treating?
Sliced tendons and similar injuries.
Oh, sure. There's an interesting story behind that. Gonna bog out, and I'll grab kind of a specialty items for suturing and make sure I've got the gear I need for that.
And to confiscate any more contraband that they might have, insight security difficulty based on how hard you want to look.
Okay. I also just drag their unconscious bodies back into the cell.
How hard he's gonna look? I'm thinking he's probably gonna rectal him.
I'm like taking all of their armor off and everything. Yeah, they're. I'll put like a.
Oh, first of all,
patient's gown in there.
First of all, I'll fitness security difficulty 2 to drag him back in, because these guys are
Athletics?
heavy. Yep, athletics.
Take a threat. Let's see if I can get his momentum back.
Yep.
Yep.
That is 3.
Or if L's assisting.
Yep, L can assist as you're all dragging the bodies back in.
It's and if the security team's assisting, it's even more.
Yep, +1 hit with that. All right, so you managed to get him back in. How difficult do you want to look for, or any more contraband?
I am stripping them down to their skivvies.
So on a scale of 1 to 5, 5 being
5.
All right, insight security difficulty 5.
They're gonna be bad when they get out of when they wake up.
L
be naked.
L and the security team can assist.
This might be a bit of a stretch, but I think I can reason it out. Focus on anti-piracy to look for hidden weapons and things like that.
I'll allow it.
Dangers, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Pirates like that kind of stuff.
If we're stripping them, there's not much elsewhere to check.
You'd be surprised. I'll give you a threat just so I have a reroll.
Okay. And L can assist, and the security team provides an advantage.
So with the security team, it's already a success, but L might could get us some moment. Or not, and we quash.
Are you sure you want to quash?
I'm sure. I'm absolutely sure.
All right. Indeed, with them on the ground, bleeding and knocked out from the anesthetizing gas, as you manage to strip them down and thoroughly search them, you get 5 sets of Hirogen armor, 5 Kukuris, and 1 Tetrion rifle that they managed to smuggle in.
Where did they hide that?
It was actually kind of in a secret pouch on their back. It kind of like enveloped it in.
Okay. Yeah, so I guess when the doctor walks into the brig, there's just 5 Hirogens stripped to their skivvies, unconscious, with slices and cuts over non-vital regions of their bodies.
Yep. So, Doctor, you come into the scene, and
couple red marks on their faces.
Actually, it's dark blue. Actually, I have not checked. What color is Hirogen's blood? I should have looked this up before.
Oh, it's probably blue. I don't think it was red.
Dark blue
I'm
it is.
saying because I was throwing punches. He was using a sword. Big difference.
Yep. So several of them have cut tendons. Some of them have black and bruised in his eyes. Some blunt force or trauma. One of them has a concussion.
2 of them have claw marks.
None of them are like critically injured, but yeah, they're all sorts of messed up, and it looks like there was a fight in here.
Okay. Well, I'll start at one end and start working my way to kind of stabilize them. Nobody looks like they're going to die right now, do they?
Not from a casual glance, no. But as you go through, you get a better idea. But it doesn't look like anyone's in critical condition. And just for the whole lot, let's not do this.
Blood. Hirogen blood is red.
Huh, okay. He's under control. It's control. You're doing first aid. Control medicine and difficulty 3. You need to just sweep the entire group and get it over with.
Okay. See here. The difficulty is from why?
Just because there's a lot of them and at once.
Volume.
Yep, volume.
Doctor, while you're checking them over, do you mind if I manacle them?
No, that won't hinder me at all.
Perfect. Strength.
2 momentum,
Okay.
or you can make a roll for it.
I'll roll after the doctor.
Okay.
I'll just go ahead and spend a threat for bold.
Okay. Easy peasy. Yeah. The tendons ends are a little difficult to repair, but it's the 24th century. You have a glowy stick to fix that. Everything else is fairly superficial. Oh, the concussion might need to be looked at later today once they regain consciousness, but they're fine.
Okay. Super duper.
Shathrak, to manacle them, control, security difficulty 2.
Athletics are probably uniform code of justice. Any of my talents.
It's not really athletics.
I don't have I don't really have a talent for manacling people. So.
What are your focuses? Maybe
hand-to-hand, shipboard, anti-piracy, small arms, uniform code, and athletic.
Anti-piracy, just arresting people in general, and securing them.
Take that.
Well,
Keep back up there.
So, I do believe a assault of a security officer would qualify as former felony charges under the Uniform Code of Military Justice.
I mean, yeah, that
alone qualifies.
Yeah, that's a different issue. All right. Yep. Gain
that's for future me.
Yeah, that's future problems. And as of now, you're just trying to secure them and make sure they're safe and you're safe. We can figure out formal charges later.
I don't think they'll be waking up for a while.
No, the gas dosage you gave them, keep them out for a couple hours.
Cool. Well, Lieutenant, shall we head back up to the bridge?
Sure.
I believe I should report to the captain there was a small skirmish in the brig.
Put it in the report.
Sounds good. And Dr. Bog, would you be joining them on the bridge, or would you go to med bay with your 2 patients?
I'd be monitoring my 2 patients until they satisfactory out of their anesthesia.
Okay.
Good.
Sounds good. You make it to the bridge. There's been no change on the exterior. You've been tracking in the Klingon on life signs, and it appears that some of them are breaking off into groups of 2 or 3, and they're in one habitat, and then there's a bright beam of light, and the signals move to another habitat. So some sort of transportation system.
That might be a problem.
Captain, we've dealt with our friends in the brig. There was a small incident, but we've been handled.
Good job.
But I guess as of now, the next question is what to do with the Klingons on the surface, and the unknown dozens of Hirogen and that beam down.
I think we should prepare and maybe prep a away team.
Do we have stasis pods?
In medical.
Yeah. Only medical ones, not really military ones.
Medical should do fine. Just thinking.
All right, Captain, who are you sending on a away team?
Ash should take should make a team and send a have him make a have him pick the security team.
Okay, so I'm taking a team down and securing a place for other people to beam in? Is that what I'm doing?
Well, you're... Well, it's gonna be you, left, and you pick anyone else for the away team to investigate it.
Okay. Well, any players who wants to go, you're welcome. If I'm doing the away team, I'll be myself. I would request Dr. Bog. I would also request L to locate these people. I would request.
And I'll give you full consent on whatever equipment you would need.
Okay. And yeah, Malden as well, along with a security team. Oh, they can't go off the ship, can they?
To bring him off the ship, you would have to do a presence command difficulty 2, or you could activate a NPC.
Could I do the presence in command?
Yeah, that'll work. Presence command diff 2.
Okay.
And Dr. Bog, you can either or send yourself to the away team, or you could override it and send a nurse with the away team.
No, I'll go with them.
Okay.
Take a momentum, medical. GM. I will use the focus of leadership.
Momentum, focus of leadership. Okay. L, what was the role you were doing prior?
He wanted a sensor roll, a sensor scan.
Okay. I was not aware you're making a sensor scan, so we will resolve that role after this role.
Well, shouldn't he still have to roll the ship computer?
Yes.
Yep.
Still gotta have the ship.
But we'll just resolve that role after I'm done with the captain. So difficulty 2, so you generate 3 momentum, and we have a security team incoming with you. A bunch of red shirts.
Well, gold shirts.
Oh, gold shirts.
We're gonna deal. We're dealing with Hirogen and Klingon here. So GM, for rules clarification, you know what I mean.
Yep.
You don't pay escalation more than once, right? You pay it once, but you continue to pay opportunity.
Yep, you pay escalation once for the entire team, and then you spend momentum M for each one. But at this time, since you're not in any particular rush, we could forego the momentum spend as you have time to go to the locker and kit yourself out.
Everybody gets type 3s and everybody gets armor.
I would also like to get some boots.
I will allow.
Also,
I will allow
your,
boots.
Your boots. Oh, your special boots.
Yes.
Type 3 phasers, is that what you're talking about?
Yes, type 3 phaser rifle.
I'm only going to carry a phaser 1, thank you.
It is allowed. Not being. You can bring what you want.
Tis optional.
Yes, tis optional. Well, to everybody but my security team.
I believe that is escalation 2. Let me check my sheets.
Escalation 2, and the armor is escalation 1.
So
I think.
3 threat at total.
Yes.
Armor
is escalation 1. Yes.
Yep, Captain. You do have 2 momentum and float.
One more. I'll leave this up to you guys. There's we could get. No, we'll just stick with armor. Force fields can stop working.
Captain, do you have any ideas for the use of a float?
Let's just leave that as a advantage.
Okay, an advantage with the weighting.
Yeah, so let's do Ash has 1 free an advantage that's security based.
Okay. These are your special ground forces, and they have a extra advantage with them.
Okay, so I get their advantage use twice then?
Yep.
Okay,
cool. And what's the special forces? Ninja special forces icon. All right. L for the sensor roll, reason science and difficulty 2 brought down to 1, and assisted by ship sensor science.
All right, so we need the sensor science roll from someone, and I want to just go ahead and use determination for the complication.
I'm just gonna ignore that roll. You can re-roll the whole thing.
Huh?
Just re-roll. No determination.
Re-roll the whole thing.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
I feel like with everyone going, I should also go.
Or you could bring a NPC.
It's fine. I have abilities that helps with counter combat.
Sweet. And the ship roll? Sensor science for the ship.
Okay, I got that.
All right, generate. Oh, that is 2 momentum. Again, in the habitats are mostly stable. Oh, there's a couple that are definitely not M class. Yeah, so you would want to avoid those. They don't have artificial gravity as far as grav plates. It seems that they're using rotational gravity to simulate it. So that's going to be interesting. What specifically were you scanning for? Or was there anything in particular that you were looking for?
Oh, I don't know that. I was asked to do a sensor scan, so
Okay.
what would have been included in that request is what he would have looked for.
There are some ion trails that are slowly fading away. It is difficult to tell if they are
Ash,
from.
What did you want me to look for?
Ash went AFK.
All right, then maybe we should come back to answering that when Ash gets back.
Yep, sounds good. We have our gear. We have our gear. Oh, there are. I want to say there's 4 small squads of Klingons on 4 different habitats, and there seems to be a small cluster of a good dozen of them on one habitat nearby. All of them various M class, but it's kind of hard to tell the exact environment. Where would you like to beam down?
I think let's start at the globe that it has the vertebrae crashed into it.
Okay. And we're just waiting for Cameron to get back, maybe. Elle, any additional questions you want to ask about the region? There are some ion.
I'm deferring to Ash on this.
Okay.
Ash asked me to do the sensor scan. Unless the captain wants something else as well. But this whole area we've scanned before, so I don't think there's much more to get about the region, so it would be specific about the habitats.
Layout.
Layout would be a good scan.
You would have to pick at least. There's so many habitats around you to get the layout of all of them, and would take a while. So you kind of have to target that at scan. I'm assuming you want to target the scans with interesting stuff about them, right?
Well, this would target the ones that we plan on boarding.
Okay. Specifically for the one with the Baroque class crashed into it. That appears to be a very kind of hot temperature, or about like 37 degrees Celsius, so somewhere in the upper 90s to 100-degree Fahrenheit. Kind of thin. Yep, kind of thin in atmosphere. Their oxygen content's a little low but bearable, and lots of various life signs all about it. And there appears to be at least one spot with water, some sort of oasis built into it. Ashton, what specifically were you looking for in that scan?
A suitable beam down location, preferably near the Klingons.
Okay. The Klingons aren't near the Baroque class crashed in one, and the Klingons are in a different one. The one where the Klingons are at has a temperate and forested climate. Atmosphere air is compatible with M class, and yeah, just baseline.
Okay. So just a place where we can beam down near them, not directly near them, because they're spooked, they'll shoot us. But that kind of.
Yeah, so within walking distance, but not close enough to spook them.
Exactly. And I don't know if he has any questions left, but I would also like to know the location of the Hirogen. Because I don't want to beam down next to a group of them.
The sensors are unable to pick up the Hirogen in the armor. You see no Hirogen signs down there, but you saw a bunch of them transport from the ship, and the transport signatures went down to habitats, but they disappeared after that.
Well,
some sort of natural feature of their armor.
Does the doctor take armor though?
Yes, I would take armor.
Okay. Lock and load, everyone. Keep an eye out for Hirogen.
All right. Did you want to beam into the Burrell crash site or the Klingon on camp? Because those are two different places.
Captain's prerogative, because it looks like he's joining us. So yeah.
I think the camp.
All right. No need for roll for this, as you guys step onto the pad and beam down. You're all kitted out with your armor, or you have type 3s on your back. Save the doctor who has a medical kit. You beam down and you are on the surface of the planet. There's various animal sounds around you, and you're hit with this fresh air. Yeah, the freshness of the air, as if you beam down onto an untouched planet that hasn't seen civilization in eons.
What's the climate like?
Temperate forest.
Ugh. Okay, cool.
Are you gonna be like this with all environments that aren't a ship or Arctic?
Probably. It won't affect my duties, sir, but I also will not be happy.
You do aim down. You're about 500 meters away from the camp. Elle, as soon as you beam down, would you like to do a sensor roll?
Oh, yes.
All right. Reason science difficulty 2.
Testing a theory for the extra die. Sensor operations.
Yep.
The only thing I don't get this time is the help from the ship.
But you do get a bonus momentum off that. There are various life forms nearby. Most of them are small insectoid or some small birds or like creatures. There are larger creatures about the same mass as a humanoid, maybe a little bigger, but they're 100 yards off the way. They seem to be completely unfamiliar, but they appear to be about the same mass, slow lumbering along. You would have to get closer or possibly get a genetic sample to determine exactly what kind of race they are. But
yeah, I'll show Ash the scan for
sure. Yeah, Ash, you see the scans. There are 3 big lumbering creatures off to the side.
Keep an eye out. Send these over to the doctor. See if he can make anything out.
Doctor.
Exactly my specialty.
Doctor, reason medicine difficulty E2.
And what is he wanting me to do exactly?
We have a tricorder scan and of some large animal creatures off to the side, and you're doing a genetic scan and to determine and what kind of creature they are. Like
Okay.
if they're carnivorous.
My biology, xenobiology ought to help here.
Absolutely.
I'll use technical expertise since I'm doing a scan here and spend a momentum.
Okay.
Oh. Huh. I have no idea.
Wow.
It's a T-Rex.
Wow.
Unless you want to quash, I'll take the 2 threat. Otherwise, you do succeed.
It's 2 threat?
Yeah, it's 2 threat for a complication, or you can spend 2 momentum to quash it.
I'll spend the 2 momentum.
The GM can take 2 threat instead of applying a complication.
All right.
Or I can spend the 2 threat or 2 momentum to just quash it, right?
Yep.
Correct.
2 momentum to cancel it out.
Yeah.
These appear to be large herbivore or creatures. They're you can actually tell that 2 of the smaller ones seem to be related to the larger one. This is some sort of small family browsing the forest, and it's looking for underbrush growth. They might be hostile if you present a threat to them, or if you get between the mother and the babies, but otherwise, they don't appear to be super territorial.
Al, can you find any Klingon life forms?
That would have came up on that scan, right?
Yep, absolutely. You have a bearing for the Klingon life forms 500 meters away.
Well, let's get going.
This is kind of a thick forest. Maldone, would you like to lead this group through the forest of wandering?
I've got to step out for just a minute. I've got to go and take care of something at the office, and I'll be right back.
Okay.
Sounds good, Bog.
Sure.
All right. Reason con on difficulty 2 in this environment.
I would like to use my boots to get up above the forest in order to give a better read on my bearing.
I will allow that. That you can use that as an advantage.
Cool.
And no rolls needed because you kind of got used to them, and there's nothing preventing you from operating them normally.
Difficulty 2.
Yep. Oh, as you're looking up and around, the horizon does this weird thing where it doesn't curve down to a flat line. It seems to curve up into kind of a green mist and arcs over her head until above your head, going north to south, kind of is just a bright beam of bluish white light. As this habitat just kind of wraps around and concave inside itself.
All right. I'd like to buy 1 dice with momentum.
Okay.
This is incredible.
Huh.
You do have the advantage with the rocket boots.
Which does what for me exactly?
You could apply that to decrease the difficulty or create an advantage somehow.
Go ahead and decrease the difficulty down to 1 then.
Yep. you rocket yourself up above the canopy, look around, and you can see a clearing up ahead. And there appears to be some rain shackle tents and stuff, and emergency shelters as are put up. As you're up above the air, I spent a threat for this already. Disruptor bolt zings by you.
Okay.
It wasn't close enough to hit, but it was definitely like within a few feet of you.
Well, let's go ahead and get down now. I think the job's done well enough. Time to return to the safety of the ground.
Yep, you drop down on the ground. Everyone hears this disruptor bolt. It goes off as Meltdown does a 3-point landing on the ground.
Well, we spooked the Klingons.
But you do have a bearing, and you can lead the team there.
Kind of, after I hit the ground, I kind of dust myself off, and then this way.
Back in the Klingon camp, Commander, a flying Bolian.
Yeah, pretty much.
You're a Bolian, right? No, you're Benzite. Sorry.
Benzite. All right, in the camp themselves, couple people, and there are some Klingons coming about. As you approach the camp and get out of the woods, it's
Question.
Yes.
Before anyone sees us, can I fly up this tree to get a better look?
While you're within the forest canopy, yes, you could fly up to the tree and get a better look.
Better tactical view vantage.
Yep. Just before the break in the clearing, you fly up the tree expertly, kind of crouch down there, and you see several Klingons kind of around the border. They have chest-high walls set up all around, made up of rocks, trees. Some cargo containers are tipped over. They seem to be in pairs, and each of them is keeping a watch out from one path and another path. And all of them are armed with disruptor rifles. And they all seem to be really on edge at the moment. But in the center of the camp, you see a couple Klingons seem to be on rest as they're eating. Several of them are wounded on the ground and appear to be tended to by, of all things, an Orion. There's an Orion that seems to be tending to wounded in the middle of the camp, and she's having a heated conversation with a female Klingon. Yeah, I'll say that's a present science and difficulty 2 to send that information.
Difficulty 2.
Ooh.
Pushing it, but research.
That's pushing it.
Huh?
That would be pushing it. I'll accept a complication, because part of research is being able to also create research for other people. That makes sense.
I don't think
That's not just makes sense.
Cells are going to help much there, but yeah.
Yep. Okay. With that, L in the tree beams down the information, what he sees, down to your tricorder silently. And everyone's aware of the situation.
Commander, I suggest we don't simply step out of the bushes. We may be fired upon if we spook them. We should make our presence known. And make it known that we're non-hostile.
What do you recommend?
Does anyone know the Klingon word for greetings or hello?
I mean, wouldn't our translators just wouldn't our universe translators just turn our hello into just their language?
That's true.
You can and speak in their native tongue and kind of like manually turn off the translator so you can shout in their tongue. And as Klingon officers or Starfleet officers, or as you would know at least like basic Klingon just from interacting with them. Probably not conversational, but at least, you know, hey, don't shoot, I'm Starfleet.
Yeah, I suggest we make our presence known before we exit the foliage. Just
Out of character, don't start with you pataks.
Yeah, I suggest it's like Starfleet, don't fire, or something like that.
Okay. Presence, command, or security, difficulty 2. And I will accept an assist on this.
Okay. If the captain would like to go, I can assist him, or we could do the other way around, or anybody else.
I think I'll be the initiator, and you could assist. Now let's see that diff.
It's diff 2.
What skills am I using again?
Command or security.
I'll do command and what? Presence command.
Yep, presence command. And any focus in communication or cultural studies.
Diplomacy.
Diplomacy would definitely work. I think "please don't shoot" is the first sentence of any diplomatic exchange.
Okay, I am going to use my value 2 roll. Well, determination.
To what value?
Let's go. Could I just do the mission or whatever?
Mission directive, if secure, are the Silk Road initiative, identify and render aid as needed. Yes.
And I gotta roll a challenge dice.
Yep.
No train if it derailed.
All right. You shout out. You turn off your automatic translator and you shout out in native if Klingon with if Shurthrop trying to help you with the pronunciation. You stumble over or a syllable badly and butcher it and you're like, oh crap, I didn't say it right, and so you just shout it out again. No, I meant this. And at that, you can see that two of the Klingons hear that stand up.
They know we're Starfleet.
They know you're Starfleet. One of them yells back into the camp in native Klingon. It's too far for your translators to catch. And then both of them kind of walk.
Keen senses.
You could hear that they're saying in Klingon. Would you know Klingon natively, or?
You said we would know some basic Klingon.
You would know some basic Klingon. True. He's calling for a commander. Or he's calling for a superior officer to come here. There's something cool to see.
Something cool. Let it be.
All right.
Yeah, something of that nature. And then these two step up from behind the cover, and they're not holding their rifles at the ready, but they still have them in their hands, and they call out, "Reveal yourselves!"
We reveal ourselves?
and seeing actual Starfleet officers, as they look relieved, and they sling their rifles over their backs, and they come meet you at the grove. Do you have a ship?
Yes, we do. Is this everyone?
This is not everyone, but please come in. And we've been in here for a while. And they invite you into the camp.
Okay, and I have a my chief medical officer here. He could assist with the wounded.
Yes, I'll discuss that in a bit. Does everyone go into the camp, or are we leaving people behind?
I don't suggest we split up in this jungle full of Hirogen.
Yep.
I pass the Klingons, though, I'll just say, don't drop your guard before we beam down. An unknown amount of Hirogen. Also beam down.
It is not just the Hirogen in these jungles we have to worry about. Ha 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 ha! And they do the forearm bash against each other, and they get back into position.
Klingons.
Elle, do you come down from your tree? I should ask that.
Yes.
All right. You are greeted by a female Klingon. I am Paja Corchette of the House Martok. It is very good to see you. To whom I have the pleasure of speaking?
This is Commander Graham Calder of the starship Svalinn.
Svalinn, I heard you were in this region of space. We were in the region and sending diplomats over to Deep Space Nine when suddenly we were attacked by those Patak. They seem to have been waiting in this system for someone to pass by, and they attacked us and drove us into this swarm. We've been in here for 6 weeks fighting them. But we've been managing to fight back with guerrilla warfare, setting traps and pulling them out of formation. But there seems to be an endless stream of them.
We have is this in the camp? Everyone here so we can start bringing everyone back up to our ship.
Unfortunately, not everyone is here. We have hunting parties that go out and do counter-offensives. But the nature...
Could we call them?
The nature of this of the swarm makes long-range communication between habitats impossible. Within the same habitat you can, but once you go through the gateways, communications don't reach.
How far are they? Well, how long until they possibly make a return?
Several hours, but we don't know. But if we have a means means of safely retreating to a more advantageous position. You see that she's being very careful with her words, because Klingons don't retreat. It would be advantageous for us to pull them from the front lines sooner.
I mean, aren't their mission to just provoke and whittle their numbers until you have a way off the planet?
Precisely.
And with us being here, their mission is pretty much completed.
Yes, but unfortunately, to recall them, you would have to chase them down through the habitats, or we could wait for them to come here, and we could possibly lose some more.
We could try.
Are you aware of what habitat they're in?
I know which one they started in, but usually hunting parties travel from habitat to habitat.
Okay. What's the possibility of us just improving your communication device to actually break through the long range interference? I think the engineer I brought with my science officer could assist with that problem.
Spend into threat.
Dang it.
The different responses. I love it.
That is a responsibility. Unfortunately, our own engineers were killed in the crash, so we haven't had much luck in extending the communication.
Well, good thing we've got good thing I brought an engineer and for my ship to assist you.
Very well. You also have medical teams with you?
Yeah, I have my chief medical officer here.
She nods and leads him over to the injured. Bog is still not with us, but Bog is introduced to the Orion female that appears to be tending some wounds.
Wait, before he goes, I'm gonna hand him something.
What would you like to hand him?
A dose of some anti-pheromone medicine.
For two momentum, you can have that on hand.
I mean, it is permanently on my other equipment. 5 hours worth of it.
Oh yes, from all those episodes, all that time ago.
Yes.
Okay. 1 momentum to discreetly hand it off.
Yes.
All right. Yep. The security team go around and start securing the camp. Bog takes the anti-pheromone dose and hypos himself with it. So I think I want. Yep. Broken heart. Broken heart. He cannot. He is immune to effects of pheromones. And I'll RP the scene between the two doctors as when Bog comes back. The security teams go around and start helping to reinforce the camp. And it is at this point that Paja looks Calder in the eyes and says, I would appreciate if you could go forth and recall the teams. My mate is among the hunting parties at this time. If you could bring him back to me, I would gravely appreciate it.
Okay. With I think like if we would do like extend the security range, well the comm range, or at least have a better way of tracking them, so we don't run around blind to find the hunting party.
Okay. In order. It's gonna be a multi-step process to
Why
cut
must
through.
you do this, GM?
Do what?
I gave him the medicine.
No. I'm cheating and bringing and saying, "Oh, my husband is out in the hunting party. Please, emotional attachment. Please help me."
Okay.
Yeah, I'm cheating in that sense.
That's what you meant.
He's pushing a narrative.
I'm pushing a narrative because I like my narrative. Reason, science or engineering, kind of unknown. Own technology and scattering field. Difficulty 4. And you can sit down and assist each other with this. And I will be right back, but I can listen.
You got this, Al. I'll give you a direct.
Alright. Reason, science. What exactly am I doing? What's the task itself?
GM.
He's be right back.
Okay, I'm back. The task at hand is to try to establish communications between the habitats. And
okay.
Increase complication range for raisins.
For what?
For reasons.
Yeah, for reasons.
Alright. For reasons, gotcha. Subspace theory? For
Yep.
Focus. And hell. I love the fact that my values they so much overlap. Take your pick. 1, 2, or 3 among my values.
They're your values. Which one do you think works the best?
2 I don't think I necessarily need, but so we'll go with let's go with 1. Science, that's my specialty.
Yes.
And then buy 1 extra die with momentum.
Okay.
That'll actually cost 2 because it's the second die.
Yes. Thank you for reminding me.
You're welcome.
And you do have a direct from your commanding officer.
Did do a direct as well.
Yep.
So 2, 4, 5, 6 successes.
All right. Shoot, you did not get a complication.
No, I did not.
So, based on just the traffic jam of communications, and there also seems to be like a subtle subspace hum along a hull of all these habitats that's causing interference. You can quickly cut through that, but unfortunately, there's also an active jamming signal from Hirogen ground forces.
Can I send a feedback loop to their jamming signal?
Not at this range. You would have to get closer, but for one momentum, you could get an extra crushing and get a bearing on where the signal is coming from, and you could.
I mean, doesn't L get a free question, no matter what?
The free question was for, or the. Can I send a feedback loop?
Ah.
And the question is yes, but not at this range.
Could the feedback can it reach with 2 momentum?
Hold on. Technically, I wouldn't count that as a question, but then again, the free question applies to the sensor rolls anyways.
Yes. Okay. So, okay, you just have your free question.
Right. It was more of a general question of, because that's what I want to do type question. Is create a feedback loop. I mean, if they have a transmitter, I don't see why we can't.
Due to the nature of the transmission, you would have to get it closer to the transmitter, not like at its base and blow it up, although that would help with the jamming signal as well. But you have to at least be in the same aim sector to anti-jam it.
Well, we are in the same sector, aren't we?
Nope. It's coming from another habitat. And it's just blasting out across the star system.
That's all still in the same sector, though. That's my point.
I'm at sector on the ground.
Okay.
Like you have to be within a 500. You have to be within a 500 meter radius, and then you can effectively shut this thing down permanently.
Okay. So to my point, in the science technology, there's no reason why we can't get something that can amplify, like from the ship or something, enough to power through it. The technology and access is readily available. If their transmitter is just not that great, fine. We can replace it with another one that engineers can get from replicators pretty easily.
You
but
can.
I understand story, so that's fine.
Huh. You can jam it from the ship, but that would require UL to be on the ship and directing the task yourself. And it might take several minutes. It might take a half hour to an hour to complete it. But of course, that would be the same risk as of. That would be the same length of time it would take to walk there and jam it.
Captain, what do you want to do?
Say the options again.
He could go to the ship and jam it, but it would take a half hour to an hour or to do it, or he could walk there and do it within the habitat itself.
Would Patterson helping reduce the time?
If you activated Patterson, that would help reduce the time. It would be an extended task in orbit. It would be a Diff 4 task on the ground.
I think activating Patterson might help. Well, activating Patterson and having you quickly return to the ship might be the best.
It's up to you. I security here as a group is important as well, and I'm not as good as a security officer, but as a group, I'd be a good backup security for him. So either way, I mean, I don't care either way. It's safety of the crew comes first.
If you're on the ship, you should be fine.
Yeah, like
I guess it really depends on what we're doing with these Klingons. Like, are we beaming them up and then going to get their other ones? Like,
regardless, are not looking pretty right now.
Right. We just have to locate them. Like, we just need to decide if we're how. Yeah.
Okay. Could you? I have an idea. Would it be possible to use the 2 momentum to get like, we can't communicate with them, but we know where to find them?
I will allow that. Yes. With the communication ping, you can see rough locations where the Klingons are located, and a rough location where the Hirogen transmitter is located.
That works.
Okay, so with doing, I think with now we know where to go, I think the best plan of action would be to have L go back to the ship and try to cut through the jamming while everyone else starts walking through there, because I imagine that when L breaks through the comming and tells them to return to camp, there's a high chance we'll meet them halfway back.
Would it be possible for us to just beam them up, GM, now that we know where they are?
Well, we only know generally where they are, not exactly.
Yeah, you only know generally where they are. It's not enough to get a transport or lock on them. But now that you're in the camp, you can set up transport enhancers around the camp to beam the people up.
Yeah, it's enough for us to beam closer to them, though, right?
Yeah, that's
we could
beam
over there where they are.
Yep.
Yeah, then I would suggest we beam up everyone at the camp, and then we can beam ourselves over there to pick up Klingons. Klingons.
All right.
Klingons. That sounds like someone after you wipe your butt.
Doctor.
I'm not insulting their honor.
Dr. Erbog, a few minutes ago, you were escorted into the camp, and you were told there was injured nearby, and you were led to the triage tent, and there's an Orion female that was tending to them. But as you were walking over, the captain slipped you a vial of anti-pheromone medication to, counter the obvious pheromone effect that Orions tend to have.
Yes. I've had some experience with that. As he handed me the vial, I go, "Is this my concoction here?"
Yes.
Thank you. Okay. So, how is the Orion doing? Is she handling things well?
She seems to be handling things as well as she can, and it was a Klingon ship, so Klingon sick bays is how well stocked they are, and that at sick bay is now crashed and smushed against the side of a habitat, so she is scraping by thinly.
This is my element right here.
Yeah, some of the wounds are not laser sutured, or they are literally just tied down with cloth bandages and manual sutures. Some of the wounds look like energy blasts. Some of the wounds look like animal attacks.
Okay. I'd like to use my value outdoorsman to create an advantage. Can I do that?
Didn't you already spend a?
Did I can only spend one per game, can't I?
Yep, unless you can use a milestone on one. Have you used the outdoorsman?
Let me look. I'm scanning here. I think I did, maybe.
Did you use it in that one?
Or we were in the park.
Well,
yeah.
I think maybe during the first vacation arc, session.
Yeah,
I believe I did, but I'm looking here. I try to make sure I keep all that stuff documented, but and these things are hard to scan through here. They don't. You got to just kind of keep working the tab. I'm not finding where I put it in, but when we first started, I don't know that I was documenting stuff well.
I do remember that time in the park while you were on shore leave, if you did something similar to this of roughing it. So
well, I thought I used it to make didn't I use it to make like a splint for a boy that had fallen down a
that's
thing or something?
Yeah, that's the episode I'm thinking of. For one milestone, you could recall your memories of that, and you can create an advantage here.
Okay, that's what I'd like to do then.
All right.
And basically, I want to just quickly scan my surroundings and be able to determine what plants will help stop bleeding and what would be for good makeshift slings and splints and things like that to assist us here.
Absolutely. You kind of see the situation at hand, and you start scanning around, partly with your tricorder and partly just with your outdoorsman and instincts, and you see several flowering plants that can work as an antiseptic.
You can rub it on the wound and help it. Help
help heal
and stuff like that.
Yep.
Yeah.
And there's wood type plants that you could break off branches to make splints.
Okay, cool. So I'm hoping that might alleviate any kind of significant difficulties we have in treating. Before I just step on this person's toes, though, I will say my name's Dr. Bog. I would love to be able to help you if you don't mind. Not just going to just push my way in.
Thank the divines, another doctor, she says in a vaguely highbrow accent. I've been in dealing with sticks and stones this entire time, and half these Klingons don't even want to be healed.
Well, that's pretty typical, but surely they won't mind us bandaging them up so they're better for battle.
Yes, that is the argument I keep having with them.
I do declare I have the vapors.
Surprise!
Perfect.
So surprise cameo by my roommate. She introduces herself as Dr. Juvie.
Dr. Juvie, okay.
Yep. And the two
Dr.
of you.
Juvie, let me show you a couple of things real quick that will kind of help your situation here, and I'll kind of go briefly over what I'll show her the tricorder and say these plants here will help with stopping the bleeding, and these are some things that will work fine for splinting. These long strips of bark you can use as tie downs with the splint, etc., kind of thing like that. Kind of give her a quick once over, and I said, where do you want me first? And I'll be kind of looking, and make sure she doesn't overlook something that is more serious, but I'll let her kind of direct where she wants me to go.
Okay. She definitely takes the lead on this, but we'll treat this as a triage role. So reason, medicine, and normally it'd be difficulty 3, but because of the advantage you created it and your outdoorsy skills, you brought that down to difficulty 2 by being able to find medical equipment out here in the wild.
Okay. I'll go ahead and give you a threat for bold.
All right. And that is 1 momentum generated. As she kind of goes through the triage she's already done, there's a couple new injuries is that as she's come across us, and she quickly triage those. She does make a mistake, and she doesn't catch internal bleeding, but you catch it and go, whoa, this guy needs to be higher up on the list, higher up on the triage. We need to treat that, and you manage to stabilize all the injured Klingons in this camp.
Okay, cool.
And all the injured people are safe for transport, or should you wish.
I'm okay with it. I mean, I'll captain, everyone here is cleared for transport.
Okay, let's set up that transport enhancer. So we could get these the injured out first.
Okay. Very quickly, you set up a transport enhancer in a nice open space and begin transporting up the injured to sickbay. And Dr. Bog, would you go with them, or would you just leave them with the nurses on board?
Everybody's stabilized, right?
Yeah, everyone's stabilized.
Okay, is there any others to be treated down here?
Not at the moment, but there are 2 to 3 hunting, away teams of Klingons that are out in other habitats that might have other injuries.
Okay, I'm going to leave it to my nursing staff to handle the wounded up there.
Okay.
I'm fairly certain nobody's critical or anything. Want
yeah,
to make sure
everyone
while
else,
the landing party's down here, they've got the support they need.
Yep. Some of the other Klingons kind of like scrapes and gashes and rough bandages tied around their arms and legs, but they're Klingons. They're in hunting shape already. Well, I thank you, Doctor. I believe if you have spared some Klingons on the dishonor of dying on an alien world without combat.
I'm happy to help.
All right.
And I would actually literally imagine it would be an awkward silence like that with Dr. Bog.
Probably.
And then he would say, okay, well, thank you. And I would head back to my landing party.
Yep. At this point, Paja is asking in Calder, so what is the plan? If you plan on going after my away teams, I wish to go with you.
Okay. Okay, so the plan is to have my sons after the return to try and break through the jam, and while he's doing that, we'll move towards the presumed locations where they are. So by sending up to the ship and going through the jam and doing so he'll be able to contact them, or at least allow you to contact them to just return to camp, and we could possibly meet them halfway way back.
That seems like the best and most expedient plan. Very well. Only I wish to come with your away party. If you request any of my warriors to stand and with us, as they'll be honored to do so. Otherwise, as they'll take retreat on your vessel. Basically, at this point, for presence command and difficulty 3, you could have a second and security team.
Take a third GM.
All right. And it's increased difficulty because they technically don't work for you.
Feeling that 0. That is 3 successes.
That's 3 successes. And with that, her most injured warriors are assembled to beam up, but her most hardy and stout warriors, a small clutch of Klingons. Is that the plural of Klingons?
A murder, definitely a murder.
Yeah, a small murder of Klingons have assembled and are willing to come with you. Otherwise, everyone else steps in between the transport enhancers and beams up as well. So we have coordinates and it's ready. And Paja starts leading you through the forest. And then you're marching along for a little while, and you come across a clearing that has a large metallic circle that shimmers in the middle, and before the large circle appears to be a pedestal with different controls on it. You know, some sort of gateway to the stars.
Stargate, if you will.
God dang it.
I am so original.
Where's my P90? I'm shooting you with a P90.
Paja goes up to the controls and says, "We've managed to translate some of these symbols. They seem to go between the different habitats and connect to each other." And she punches she punches a few symbols. Would anyone want to watch the sequence she uses?
I'm in the back calling out Chevron 1 locked. Chevron 2 locked.
It's actually a sequence of four symbols.
Only 4 chevrons. Wow. Well, its in system makes sense.
But yeah, if anyone would like to overlook their shoulders, or you can do that with reason, science, or engineering in difficulty 3, to kind of get a sense of how the system works.
Oh, okay. I'm guessing L is still here until we beam out, because I still see him in the party.
Yeah, L. Would L be here now, or would he beam up to the ship already?
Unless he was given an order to return, he would still be there.
Let's quickly do the reason, science, and then begin.
Yeah, I'll allow you to have the reason, science.
Alright. Keen senses? Does that help at all? No.
Not really. She's not trying to hide this from you. It was just more of looking and kind of understanding the pattern.
This is reason science?
Yep.
Buy 1 dice.
With threat or momentum?
Momentum.
Okay.
Then I either need someone to assist, or I'm going to have to buy another dice.
Do you want to assist?
I'm with safe side because I don't think I have a focus that would work.
Maldon would probably be better with science, wouldn't he?
Yeah, I got some skills in science.
Okay. Anything with research or xenotechnology?
I have research focus.
I'll allow it.
Okay.
And Maldon can assist with the same. Okay. It seems that it's not like some other franchise that is copywritten and not what we're going for. Or it seems to be more like a direct calling system, and where it's saying I want to dial this habitat at 3147, and it just creates a ripple gate there, and you step through it, and it transmits you to the other side.
So we're just entering area codes?
Yeah, you're just entering area codes. Based on the number of digits entered, and based on the number of habitats, it's obviously not direct dialing. So it seems like the gates have a short range. I can only get it to 9,000 and or so other habitats nearby, and not the full collective.
Okay, interesting.
But with that, the gateway activates, and you can and beam up to the ship when you're ready.
Sure.
Oh, very, very, very quickly, now that you see the gate active, Insight Science difficulty 3. You might have noticed something about this.
Insight Science.
And anything with xenotechnology, history, cultural studies.
I don't have any of that. I do have the research.
This is off the top of your head.
Let's see. Insight Science. Yep, gonna have to buy that extra dice again.
One extra dice, one momentum.
And I'm feeling a little unlucky, so let's do 2 threat for another die.
4 dice total. Okay. You got it. I'm going to whisper you something.
You say you were going to whisper him sweet nothings?
No, something.
I know.
No, I heard the same thing Bog heard.
Sweet dreams are made of these.
I wouldn't mind.
Would we be to disagree, honestly?
Exactly.
The spelling errors, but
Spelling's overrated.
Yeah, whoever posted that meme from Stargate, I think we're heading down that road.
It's really cool. I don't think I ever realized that it goes out the back like that.
You do have one free question.
Where does it go?
Where does it come from?
Where did it go, Cotton Eye Joe?
There you go.
No.
Yes.
I will. I'll let you have one for free. It definitely goes to another air habitat. It seems to have a limited connectivity, unlike the one that was referenced.
Well, I would love to stick around, but I am going to have to crash. I've got to get up at 4 in the morning and got a long day tomorrow. So, hopefully you guys won't need a doctor.
Oh, it'll be fine. Thank you, Doc, for all your work.
No problem. If you do get injured, just rub some dirt on it and beam back to the ship, and I'll help you as soon as I can.
Yep. It's a pleasure playing.
Yeah. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
In a week.
You know what
I used the free question. That was where does it go? And you said to another habitat. But with that said, if you're basically giving me an extra one here,
Yeah, because it was obvious based on the operation of it, how it works.
I'm thinking, you know, have you ever played X3?
I have not. I'm not familiar with the X series.
It's like so the X series is like a space game, space trading, shoot 'em up type game. But they use jump gates. And it is gate to gate, like you explained. The gates both within like the Sol system or from system to system. It's exactly that, just gate to gate. That's kind of how I'm picturing it, just with the habitats.
Yeah, I guess that would be a rough analogy. But more study it would be needed to get into like the intricacies of how they work and how the operating system is. But you do catch that very big hint.
All right, I very carefully note where this gate is at, so that I can scan for it later.
Okay.
I have a question. These habitats, is there like is it like completely around the cylinder? Like, is there like ground above us, or how is it?
There is ground and above you, but it's like a half kilometer up. So if you look at the horizon, it does kind of curve up, and then it goes into kind of a weird green mist.
So you're saying this is an O'Neill cylinder?
This is an O'Neill cylinder, and in the middle of the O'Neill cylinder is a bright blue beam of light that seems to be an artificial sun.
And teleportation gateways. Let's go.
This whole thing went from curse to blast so fast.
Yep.
With that, L beams up to the ship. And I'm just gonna put him on the far side of the map. And eeny, meeny, miny. Should be able to copy paste you. And you guys go through the gate.
Ooh. No,
yes, that
not
works.
A desert.
This is a desert environment, and
you do me like this.
I hate sand. It's rough and coarse and gets everywhere.
It's like, this is terrible. Next spot, this is worse.
Oh,
yeah,
it gets
the forest.
Oh, it gets even better because as O'Neill cylinder is spinning faster than normal, so it has higher gravity too. Oh, fitness tasks are increased by 2, and you need a fitness con on task difficulty 1 to move more than 1 zone a turn.
You are evil.
As you step through the gate, there's a weird ripple, but it's like moving from one room to another, and then thud. Your back scrunches as your knees ache, and you feel like someone has jumped on your back. It's tolerable. You can still walk and stand, but ow, your thighs are gonna hurt at the end of this.
Okay, the faster we get through this, the better. As we begin following towards where we have to go.
What are these Klingons?
Maldone, go ahead and give me Reason Con difficulty 2. Paja will help you.
Hey, I'm gonna buy a 3rd dice.
With threat, I'm assuming, because you don't have momentum.
Yeah, that's the only thing I got here. So.
All right.
Can the boots handle this kind of gravity here?
They can, but it's increased complication.
So if I use the boots for navigation, I get an advantage, but also increase the complication. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay. Why not? I'll go ahead and use that advantage to reduce the difficulty.
Okay. Difficulty to 1.
Hey, look at that. We don't have any momentum to quash that.
Oof. Yeah. If that stands, that stands. You jump up to the air. The boots need a little extra thrust, and you're trying to slowly gaining it as Paja tries to help you and points in vague directions. You do see a couple of desert dwelling in armored creatures that seem to be scuttling along the sand very, very quickly. But way off in the distance, and you see a basically it's a dip between two hills, and on top of one of the hills you kind of see the glint of something metallic, and you have a good indication that that's where they are. They're camped out there. And you land back on the ground.
All right.
And that complication is going to come in handy. As you guys head off. Each step is difficult, but you kind of find your rhythm walking one foot in front of the other. And it is the sheet. As you're walking along, suddenly surrounding you are 3 giant elongated triangle heads. Each one is about 3 feet across and seems to dig deeper in the sand, as it's a surprise attack by the native life.
You sent L back to the ship.
Yep. L's back at the ship.
Snakes, great.
Don't worry, you're safe.
Snakes, great.
Snake's great. Let's see what I have here. During security, yeah, this one is gonna pop out of the sand and try to constrict the captain in a daring security opposed. I'm spending a dice. Spending a threat for 1 dice. Captain, how would you like to oppose this roll?
Sorry, I'm kind of dealing with mild connection issues. What's going down?
A giant snake burst out of the sand. It is trying to grapple you.
I hit it with the butt of my rifle.
All right, oppose daring security. I have 3 dice currently. Would you like to purchase dice?
I would like 2 dice.
One with
One momentum. Yeah.
2 threat.
could I modify our walking order slightly? 'Cause
Yeah, you could do the walking order really quick.
Okay.
And combat tactics work as a focus.
Yes, apparently that is a thing here. As you boop it hard on the nose, it hisses loudly and backs away. I am going to spend
boop the snoot.
You boop the snoot. Spend 2 threat to keep the initiative. And
I don't have to spend to keep the enemy.
He's doing
enemies
it, yeah.
keeping the initiative, as this one is going to try to bite Maldone and his tasty rocket boots. Opposed daring security.
Oh, this is bad. Daring security.
I'm spending
How big are these creatures?
They're buried in the sand, but if they're like regular air snakes, the head is like 3 feet wide.
Oh wow. Okay. Okay. Cool.
Hey! And this is the bite attack. Or... Oh, no, I'm re-rolling.
No, you're not. Don't do it.
Why, you know?
Don't worry, Maldone has armor, so that's 1 resistance.
It's 2 resistance.
Oh, yeah, 2 resistance.
Okay, so that
He's still
is
up.
5 damage, but 5 damage, so not quite enough to knock you out because of the armor, but it bites down to you, and suddenly there's this strong electrical shock. Oh, so 3 damage. This is a strong electrical shot that jolts through your system. As whatever the hell that was, it has some sort of electrical feedback back in its mouth.
Quit breaking my boots!
Would you mind if I take the first turn?
It is now player's turn.
I would like to shoot this snake with my gun. On stun.
You are within close range with it, but you could take a fitness con difficulty 1 check to move 1 zone.
What's the difficulty?
It's fitness con on difficulty a 1 to use your minor action to move 1 zone.
Okay, I will try and do that.
Okay. You gain 2 momentum off just moving as you move to a very advantageous position.
Now I shoot the snake with my gun.
Control security, diff 2.
I take a threat, GM.
Excellent. That is 1 over, so 1 momentum generated. And roll me that damage.
Wait, that shouldn't that be plus security?
Yeah, it should be 3 plus your security. Oh, do you have the tick on the bottom, range or melee? The
It's on
range should
range.
Yeah, the range should be a light blue.
It is. Okay, let's try again.
Yeah. Okay, that works now.
Is okay. Take a momentum to equal those 4 dice.
Okay. Ooh, nice. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And that is an injury. As you stun it heavily in the face, it shrieks. It pulls back angrily, but then shakes off the stun.
Okay, 2 momentum to do swift action, and take a threat to do a minor action to aim. And I have Deadeye Marksman, which decreases the difficulty by 1. And
So
additionally to the aim, and because of this gun have accurate, I get to. So we pretty much I get aim, I get 2 little more dice because of accurate, and I decrease the difficulty by 1 because of Deadeye Marksman.
So, because of Jedi Marksman and the Swift task, this is difficulty 2.
Oh yeah, I control security or dang security.
Control security, diff 2.
Okay. Take another threat.
Excellent.
Okay, I accidentally double clicked.
I'll take the first one, so you gain a momentum. And that is a hit.
Yep. Reroll those 3 dice with a momentum.
Okay. Nice. 2, 6, 7, 8, 9. Already injured, and now you injured it again. As you dial up the, you saw it shook off the stun, so you dial up the frequency of the rifle, fire again, and vaporize it.
And because
Don't
I
like
have
that. There is no in between.
and now the next player go, because you know what ability I have.
You have quick to action, so which other player would like to go?
I raise my hand.
Go.
I will. I use. I'll say I have my type 2 out and a type 3.
Don't you mean type? Yeah, type 3.
That's two-handed, isn't it?
Sadly, yes, but
Okay.
it does do one extra dice. Yeah, 1 extra dice, and it has accurate. So if you aim, you get to reroll more dice.
Yep. I will move up here. To try to distract it from Maldon.
In order to move, you have to make a fitness contest as difficulty 1, but it still counts as a minor action.
There's a snake on my boot.
Athletics.
Athletics will work, yes.
I got it.
You did manage to get it. So you managed to dive over in front of Maldon, and there appears to be 2 snakes on the other side. This one is within melee range. That one's not quite there yet.
Okay, I will fire at the one that's not quite in melee range yet, because I don't have another minor action to draw my Uton.
Okay. Control security difficulty 2.
Take a threat. Can I give you another threat for an extra minor action?
What minor action?
Charge.
Yes.
Okay, I want to charge for intense, please.
Sounds like a good idea. Oof, that was close.
Mm-hmm.
That is 1 momentum. Go ahead and a hit. Go ahead and roll the damage.
I don't think you're going to be paying to keep that one up.
All right. Because with the 10s, it's +1 on difficulty to keep it up.
+1 for each effect, I believe.
For each effect. So yeah, that is a lot. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yep. As you dial this one to intense stun and knock it out, and it just takes the phaser shot and bleh, flops to the ground.
Okay. Then I will. I don't have enough to swift task. Guess that's it.
Okay.
I will try to make myself look like the most I'll try to take the shot for Maldan. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to make myself look appetizing, I guess.
Yeah, that would take a whole action to do, though. So.
Okay, well, never mind.
Number of challenge dice. 6 challenge dice. Okay. This thing rears back a little bit and kind of does a weird hiccup burp thing. It just like and then it belches out a large inky black cloud that just covers the area, and it obscures the area for 2 zones. So I say you two and you two get out. Captain, you and the security teams are just outside of it. And
I see.
It inked us.
it inked you. So you have disadvantage on ranged and melee attacks within this, and you'll have to navigate yourself out of it in order to remove that debuff. However, it can still see. So swift task. Yep. It is going to try to constrict someone random. Ashton, go ahead and roll me a challenge dice. Roll me a 5 challenge dice with your security, based on your security score, and if you get an effect, it will attack you instead of Maldon.
I get 3 effects.
Okay, it's definitely upset with you. Upsetty spaghetti.
I killed his baby.
Yeah, brother, but I'm going to spend at
Baby
least.
brother.
All right, I'm spending 1 to roll 3 dice. This is opposed daring security, as it's trying to constrict you.
Okay. I didn't have a minor action to draw my Yushan, so I just have my rifle. Shoot. I couldn't spend momentum now to draw my Yushan, could I?
Nope, don't have time for it. But
Okay.
you could
Well,
still
then-
do melee with the butt of the rifle.
Yeah, but that's not as fun. But yeah, I would do that. Give you a threat. Roll away.
Oh, that's not fair.
No, it's completely fair.
That is not
You won't give me my
fair.
You won't give me my pet dinosaur. I'm not letting you have your snake.
As you feel it wrap around, it just jump into the cloud and start wrapping around you very carefully, almost as if it can see through the ink cloud out, and you just boop it on the nose, and it's really hard, and it's a sickening crunch sound as something breaks, and it slithers
Something
away.
indeed breaks.
Yeah. So that is +3 to get up, and 3, 5, 7. That is at least an injury. You know what? Yep, it takes the injury.
Boop the snoot.
You boot the snoot so hard that something snaps and it slithers away and runs. With that, oh no, I stopped the wrong one. Planet surface, desert.
Guess I'll try to get out of the ink.
Yep. Combat seems to be over. As all the loud, screamy, hissy sounds seem to stop, and the sand is quiet and smooth. And as you step out, some small swarms of lizards scurry out of the sand and begin and just immediately eating the stunned one.
Oh, it's not even dead. Oh, poor little thing. Oh well.
Okay, let's just hurry up and get back. But we'll find the camp and not focus on the circle of life.
Oh no, you've deleted the Klingon lady.
Nope, she's still there. But after a few minutes, the smoke cloud dissipates. Oh yeah, I moved her to guest stars because she's a guest star for you. And yes, you should be able to see Paja's sheet under characters and guest stars.
Mm-hmm.
After that
be more vigilant now.
After that harrowing adventure, you manage to make it the rest of the way to the hill, and you find 3 Klingons hiding out in duck blinds. They're laying on their stomachs. They have stripped down disruptor rifles set up, and they have almost buried themselves in the sand. The only hint that you see of them is just little glints of metal of a scope or the tip of the rifle, and 2 of them burst out of the sand, surprisingly Klingon strength considering the gravity of this world, and go, "Starfleet! Welcome to the menagerie."
To the Thunderdome.
They seem to be having quite a fun time.
We have a your mission is completely you could we got a ship and we are picking your people off the planet.
Very, very well. If we have no longer need of combat in this menagerie, we shall. I'll take to your ship. We appreciate the assistance, Starfleet. And Paja orders them to beam up to the ship. They gather their things. You guys set up a transport or enhancer or triangle.
Mm-hmm.
And the 3 of them transport out. Oh, before they do, you do have the opportunity to ask some questions. Step back a little bit.
Well, I have a question for our captain, so I guess I'll step up to him.
Heavy, thudding steps.
Drenched in sweat.
You are not having a good day. In fact,
not fun at all.
fitness Fitness medicine difficulty 2.
Medicine?
Everyone or just him?
Just him. Cause
Picking on the ice boy.
I'm picking on the ice boy.
I'm gonna need a determination on this. Never compromise, never surrender. I will not surrender to this heat.
You will not surrender to this heat or this gravity. I will accept
No.
it. You can and either use that to quash it altogether, or you can still roll and see if you get momentum or complications.
Let's just quash it. I am rolling a 10 here. I'm not confident. Let's just quash it all together.
Okay. You feel, yeah, you are just very uncomfortable. The heat's drenching into you. It's sinking into your soul. Your knees ache, your back aches, your hips ache. But you're like, no, never give up. Never surrender. I am not going to show weakness today. And you just push your way through this. But you do approach your captain.
Captain, what are our intentions with the remaining what are they called?
Hirogens.
Hirogens.
Yes. Hirogen on the habitats.
If they attack, we will fight back.
But other than that, we're going to abandon them here.
Probably not.
If I know Starfleet, they'll want to set up a research outpost in the system, and with those Tholians, that could be a problem. Not the
Hirogen.
Hirogen.
Yeah,
Sorry. I've been playing Star Trek Online. With those Hirogens, that could be a problem.
Probably, but I doubt there'll be that many of them with how many they usually have crew per ship.
That's true, but very well.
Meanwhile, back in orbit, L, you are trudging your way through this interference signal.
Oh no!
Oh no, I'm doing
right.
science. That's like my totally
That's your specialty.
science. It's your specialty. All right.
But I don't want to do science anymore. I want to help fight.
Just
Science.
I mean, would
Monster.
you enjoy planet with the gravity that makes it hard for you to fly?
Oh, I was gonna have so much fun if you actually stepped onto this habitat. Because guess what birds have?
Hollow bones.
Your bones are weak.
Oh yeah, I would have spent so much threat to crack your spine.
Steps
Bob
out of
would
been
have
like-
been so bad at you.
steps out of gateway, legs break.
Ouch. Oh, oh my goodness. Those types of compound fractures are really nasty.
Yep.
Yep.
All right, so we're gonna be doing this in multiple steps, one step per scene, and fun things might happen in between. Who knows? Anything can happen. Reason science, difficulty 3, magnitude 3. You do have the assistance
looks
of
like
this.
Reason science.
Reason science. Oh, yeah.
Let's summon Patterson. You want Patterson to assist you?
Yeah, because I've already used determination and my metal already, so I'm gonna need all the help I can get.
Patterson and will definitely come up from the bowels of the ship and help.
And you guys used up all the momentum,
Apologies.
so I really have to generate my own.
I mean, you could make your own momentum.
True.
I'll make my
But-
own moment.
Kind of hard build it and spend it at the same time.
There's always threat.
Best case is to
All right.
generate momentum is to organize all the tools you need.
All right, I'll make you guys a deal. You leave me momentum, and I won't give the GM more threat. But for this round, he's going to get it.
Oh no,
I mean,
that's terrible. Whatever shall we
I
do?
don't mind. I don't mind giving the GM threat. It makes fun things happen.
3 threat for 2 dice.
3 threat for 2 dice.
Subspace theory focus.
Absolutely. Does Patterson have a focus?
Yeah, sensor applications.
That would work.
Check one. Would this involve studying the jamming signal?
Yes, it would, because in order to counteract the signal, you have to study it to know what you're counteracting.
Well, then take away 2 threat because I get an extra dice from computer expertise then.
You mean testing theory?
No, from computer expertise.
Oh, because the computer sensors will be assisting you.
Well, I was thinking more of a study of a computer system, like the jamming signal, for example.
Okay.
All right. And then we get a ship roll too.
Who has the ship?
Bach had it last time. Maldon, you want to pick up the ship?
Yeah, I'll pick up the ship. Everything's like space.
I mean, currently you guys are under pressure.
Under pressure.
Do.
What am I rolling here?
Be sensor science.
Sensor science. Rolling.
So that's 5 momentum.
That's 5
6
momentum.
6 because of the sensors.
All right. And so what I roll?
7
Is it
7
my
challenge dice.
Science level challenge dice?
Science plus 2.
Science plus 2.
Yep. Work extended task. You always start with a base of 2 challenge dice and the relevant department. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6 minus 2. That brings it to 4. If you spend one momentum, you can get piercing and punch through that resistance.
Moment. Yeah, let's do spend 1 on piercing.
Okay. That will get you at least a 6. So that would be a 1 magnitude down.
This. So what's the total work there?
6 total. And the total work for the task is 14.
Let me dump 1 momentum for work as well.
Okay. 7 work altogether.
So that should be one breakthrough as well, right?
Yep. 7 work, 1 breakthrough.
We going again?
That's it for this round of work. If there's any other advantages or tasks you want to do between in the computer compiling data, allows you to do one round on something else.
I just figure we can go ahead and get this over with.
Yeah, I think so too.
Okay.
That way we don't have to go back and forth. All right.
Yep.
So
Round 2.
it's testing a theory.
Yep.
And does that mean your expertise still applies?
Yes.
So I actually get 2 free D20s.
Nice.
All right. So 2 free D20s. Subspace theory. Yeah, might as well just do it with that, you know?
Difficulty was 2, and then Patterson helps, and the ship helps. 4, 5, and the ship. Sensor science on the ship. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on a difficulty 2, brought down to 1. So we got 4 momentum and on top of all that. So we have 2 float that we can use on the challenge dice.
All right. So let's spend 1 float on piercing.
You can go ahead and roll the dice first, and then we can figure out what to do with it.
Yeah, go ahead and do that anyways.
All right.
1 on piercing.
That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, so that'd be 6 work right in.
And let me spend 1 to re-roll those other 2 dice.
Okay.
You know what? Screw it. Just spend the 2 momentum. Or wait, how many are we at? We're at 6?
You're at 6. You can spend 1 momentum and just put it into work.
Yeah. That works.
5 or more, and you finish the track. That you managed to get this done in 2 intervals. So a lot quicker than and previously thought. You manage
Science, my specialty.
Science, it is your specialty. Yeah, within 30 minutes of punching through this, you manage to isolate the a signal and reverse it, and you cut through the interference. You now have clear comms to everyone. Yeah, yep, your task is successful.
All right, so whenever we get to that point, Elle will call the captain.
It's just about that at this point. After the ship has beamed up 3 more Klingons on warriors. So you are now synchronized up.
All right, I will call the captain and say, Captain, we have comms connected.
Okay, I will tell.
Paja.
I'll tell Alpaja this, so she could relay and tell them to, and tell her men to start moving back.
Excellent. And she taps on her comm badge. Hunting parties. Do you hear me? And there's two Klingon voices pipe in. One of them's really hushed, and it's just almost a mic click. We have friends from the Federation who have come to save us, so we may fight at another day. Meet us at these coordinates, and for our immediate beam out. One Klingon says, "As I, Commander," and the other one just gives a quick mic click. Apparently, one of the teams is stalking in a quiet location and might take some time to get there, but at these coordinates we should be able to intercept them.
Okay.
At this point, you are already at the gate again. And by the time you get up to the hill and come back and past the snake, it is already like half eaten, and it's just swarming with 24 of these small, like dog-sized lizards that are just nomming on it.
It's the circle of life.
Can I give you guys a quick out-of-character fun fact?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So, depending on what your time zone is, you may have already missed it, but today there would be the 21st second of the 21st minute of the 21st hour of the 21st day of the 21st year of the 21st century.
One of a kind time.
Cool.
At night. The 21st hour of the 21st day of the month. And of the year.
That's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
What
Maldone.
are these things?
Yes.
To navigate to the next habitat, let's do control con difficulty 3.
Do my boots still work? Are they still safe to operate?
This is actually dialing the gate, so the boots won't help.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
As for these things, they are about cow-size low-slung lizards. They come up to your knee, but they're huge, wide and fat, and they're just like scurrying along in the sand with just a little eyes and a ridge of bone sticking out.
I'm gonna take 2 dice, 1 with threat, and then 2 from momentum.
Excellent.
That's 2 dice total, but those are the.
Can I spend 2 momentum to make the next one cold? No,
No, I have environment in mind for the next one.
I had to ask.
Huh.
Well, good thing you have a determination, I think.
Yeah. I also did spend threat, so I can use.
Oh yeah, I got bold.
Yeah,
Yep.
I can use bold.
Yep, just use bold. Maybe you get it.
There we go.
Hey, you gain momentum back. As you dial the gate correctly, and you can get yourself pretty close to the rendezvous site. And with that, you guys, I shimmy through the gate. Diddle-doo-doo.
This is not cold.
It is not cold.
better be a pet dinosaur here.
Maybe. But, yep, this is very hot, very, very humid. But the atmosphere is thicker than normal. And you guys take a deep breath and you are invigorated with oxygen. And there's sounds of creatures in the distance.
Is that a skeleton?
Yep.
Klingon? That's not a pet dinosaur.
In order to identify the skeleton, reason medicine difficulty 1.
Got it.
Yep, who wants to ID the skeleton?
What would that be for skill?
Actually, it's difficulty 2, because it's just a skeleton.
I think
for the archive, I will say I'm gonna put my type 3 on my back, and I'm gonna switch to one hand type 2, one hand Yushan.
Sounds good.
If no one else wants to, I guess I can try.
yeah, I'll try and assist with the direct.
You identify that skeleton. Yep, I'll accept it. Oh, and this is a new scene. Alright, so medicine task.
I will take a momentum for all the good it will do.
Go for it.
All right. Indeed, especially when you flip the skull over the skull ridges. This is definitely a Klingon skeleton, and 2 months old and picked almost clean.
I just look at Commander Paja.
Commander
One of
Paja.
yours, I presume.
Indeed, and she kind of falls to her knees, looks over the skeleton for a moment, and throws her head back in and screams.
Oh, damn.
I mean, there's lots of sounds in here.
Yeah, but there's a Klingon scream. Wow, Paja.
That didn't come from Paja. That came from nearby.
I prepare my phaser / Yushan.
Well, got something for this. Dude.
I know sooner or later that the to be continues gonna happen.
I didn't want to. Yep, we'll do it. Because there's still a couple more our habitats I want to show you guys. But before, out of the brush, there are a couple of Tetrion on both sides at shootout from this direction. Just barely going over your heads and driving you into the woods. But then swinging overhead, screaming bloody murder on a vine with a batleth out. This Klingon warrior swings down, swinging like Tarzan, and just clips one of them, and with his batleth, punching in the Hirogen head over heels. It was nearly cutting him in half. Another one swings by, trying the same maneuver. This is Hirogen. This Hirogen, bigger, stronger than the others, with 2 white stripes over his eye, grabs him by the throat mid-swing, slams him to the ground, and then fires his rifle point blank range into his chest. The battle is on.
I will yell for people to get in cover.
Yep. You have the opportunity to get into cover. And then behind you, there's footsteps. There's big footsteps. As a mother frickin' T-Rex burst out of the jungle, and on top of it is a Klingon warrior with a disruptor rifle, and he's just charging into the Hirogen in group.
Do these Klingons really want to be rescued?
I mean, kinda, but at the same time, this is badass. And with that, with the Tyrannosaurus Rex bursting out of the woods, we will end this episode.